Hi everyone, Matt Watson here from Carwow, and here I have the Porsche 911 991 GT2 RS. This is the ultimate 911, and in this video I'm going to give it a jolly good reviewing for your viewing pleasure and for my driving pleasure. And to do that, I'm going to talk you around the exterior design. It has some fishy gills. Show you the upgrades inside. Let me out of this cage! Give you some geeky facts.
Yeah, variable vane turbo technology. These aren't them, these are just fans.
See how quick it is. Ah! And do my very best not to crash it.
Woo! Oh God, we're still going really quick. Whoa, there's a bend.
Now before we get into all of that, please make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon to turn your notifications on so you don't miss any of our videos. Also, could you do me a big personal favour? Follow me on Instagram at Matt Watson Cars. The link's actually the top one below the video. I'm trying to get to 200,000 followers and I need your help. Thank you very much. Let's start this review by talking about the GT2 RS's design. Actually, bollocks to that, we'll do that later. Let's kick off by seeing how quick it is. So I'm going to launch it. Now I've got my specialist timing gear up there. All I have to do is put it into drive, left foot on the brake, floor the throttle, launch controls engaged, release the brake.
Oh. Traction's struggling there. Oh, I'm going off. Oh, it's God! Christ! That's enough. Woo! Woo! Oh God, we're still going really quick. Whoa, there's a bend.
Oh my God. Just got to find somewhere safe to pull over to check the time. It did the standing quarter mile in 11 seconds dead, and did it at a speed of 134 miles an hour. That's mad. I reckon if I was on a dry track and I managed to launch it properly with no wheel slip, easily do a standing quarter mile in low tens. Let's do the 0 to 60. 3.4 seconds, Porsche says 2.8 seconds, and I reckon with a good launch, that is easily doable. My God, this thing is mental. All right, and let's talk about the design of the GT2 RS because it looks way more aggressive than the normal 911. The bonnet is made out of carbon fibre and it's got this stripe effect going on at either side, which is cool. And look at the badge. It's actually just a sticker underneath the clear coat. Apparently that helps save weight. There's also these vents in the bonnet, which you might think are pointless, but they do actually channel air down and through all the bodywork and somewhere into the wheel well. Not sure if they're cooling the brakes or just aiding the airflow. There's also some more ventage going on here and this little carbon fibre skirt on it as well. There's huge intakes for the radiators, and all the vents on this car are real. No need for the Carwow stick of truth today. We've also got this big front splitter with GT2 RS written on it. It looks a bit like cheap plastic, but it's actually lightweight polyurethane. As we move down the side, you have 20-inch alloy wheels at the front with centre locking caps, racing car style. Then there's these prominent vents here which help let hot air out of the wheel well. The wings, just like the bonnet, are made out of carbon fibre. We've got the GT2 RS stickers there, and once again some side skirts which are made out of polyurethane, carbon fibre door mirror caps. The roof as standard is magnesium, and that helps keep the weight down and the centre of gravity. You'll notice it's got the wide body design as well, with air intakes like the turbo to feed air into that turbocharged engine. At the rear, we have 21-inch alloys as standard. Now I'm going to move around to the back, and the most noticeable thing here is the huge carbon fibre spoiler. Helps give you some downforce. Combine that with the split at the front, which reduces lift, helps improve the aerodynamics of this car at higher speed. The engine cover, that is made out of carbon fibre as well. Once again, keep the weight down. Got GT2 RS sticker there, which I think I could quite easily peel off if I wanted to. Shan't do that, it's probably really expensive to replace. Then you've got a unique rear bumper design, though because it's not colour coded, sort of reminds me of the rear bumper on the Mark V Golf GTI. You're not going to be able to unsee that now, sorry about that. You've got large oval exhaust pipes there. They are actually just surrounds, but there are real exhaust pipes on the inside. Actually, the exhaust system is made out of titanium and it's 7 kilos lighter than that on the normal 911 turbo to help save weight. Also, the rear screen and the side windows are made out of polycarbonate, once again to help save weight. Now, I really like the look of this car, and I kind of like the number plate as well. 911 GB. Now what do you think? Do you think personalised number plates such as that are cool or complete and utter nonsense? Click on the pop-out banner up there to cast your vote. Do you like them or not? Here on the inside, the GT2 RS has lots of nice upgrades over the standard 911. My favourite of which are these carbon fibre low slung bucket seats. They are wonderful and they have an RS logo embossed into the headrest. There's also lots of Alcantara about the place. Loveliness. And on the steering wheel, very nice. And you've got the little stripe so you know where the dead ahead is. Also, the wheel's frame is made out of carbon fibre, as are the paddle shifters, and there's more carbon fibre about the place and here as well. Instead of normal door handles, you have these little fabric pulls because they save a lot of weight. Not any weight, really. It's about the same difference as me going to the toilet or not before I drive the car. Anyway, the rest of it is just normal 911 pretty much. So you've got lovely 911 style dials, very easy to read, loads of information. Normal infotainment system from the 991, which is looking a bit old now. And it doesn't even have Android Auto, just Apple CarPlay. God damn it, so I can't use my phone with it. Ah, I do like this though, look. Clever, hidden away cup holders. Ta-da! Yay, cup holders, yay. Awesome. The 911 GT2 RS started from just under £208,000, though this one with options came to £236,000. And I'll talk you through the upgrades now. Extended black leather, £2,147. Lovely Miami blue paint, £2,525. A reversing camera, £464. Chrono pack with stopwatch, £336. Painted headlight washers, £143. I mean, what the actual Silver seat belts, £194. Silver paint for the alloy wheels, £168. Though, isn't this just the normal colour of alloys? Cruise control, £288, and it's just basic cruise control, no radar control or auto steering. Auto dimming rear view mirror and automatic windscreen wipers, £387. White instrument dials, £417. And finally, there's the WISAC pack, which includes a carbon fibre roof instead of the standard magnesium one. Lightweight magnesium alloy wheels, WISAC embroidered onto the headrest, including the track itself. FYI, it's the track where Porsche tests out its cars. Some more pointless WISAC stuff here. Carbon fibre anti-roll bars. Right, I can't see them. In fact, who's stolen the engine? Ha 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 ha! A Porsche 911 joke. And finally, the roll cage made out of titanium to help save weight. Overall, the WISAC pack costs £21,042, though it will reduce the car's weight by 30 kilos. That rear roll cage means the GT2 RS is even less practical than the normal 911 because you don't have that area when you fold the rear seats down because it's just taken up by cage. So you have to rely on the front boot, which only has 115 litres of space. Now I've got some other geeky facts for you. 500 GT2 RSs were to be built, and they built them, but unfortunately 4 were lost at sea while in transit, so they had to restart production to build 4 more, so there was actually 500 going to customers. Also, the car was never unveiled at some swanky motor show. Instead, it was the poster car for Forza 7 on the Xbox. And finally, certain owners were able to buy a special watch with GT2 RS on it for a mere £8,000. No doubt what you'd all like to geek over the most though is the engine. It's a 3.8 litre flat 6 twin turbo with 700 horsepower and 750 newton meters of torque. It drives only the rear wheels via a 7-speed dual clutch automatic gearbox. Top speed is 211 miles an hour, though that is limited. I reckon it could go even quicker, but Porsche just won't let it because the 918 Spider tops out at 214, and you couldn't have that getting beaten by a 911. When this car was released in 2017, it was the fastest production car round the Nürburgring with a time of 6 minutes 47.3 seconds. Right, I think we're going to have to stop this whole thing about me getting kicked in the arse when I mention the Nürburgring, okay, because it's starting to get a little bit painful. Anyway, let's get on with the rest of the mechanical upgrades. You get carbon ceramic brakes as standard. The discs are 410mm at the front and they're gripped by 6-piston calipers. At the back, they're 390mm in diameter and 4-piston calipers. The track is 50mm wider than a standard 911 Carrera. It gets dynamic engine mounts which hold the engine tighter so it doesn't move about so much depending on which driving mode you're in. The suspension is completely upgraded with stiffer springs. There's also stiffer dampers and they are adaptive as standard. There's manually adjustable anti-roll bars. Don't know why I'm illustrating it by doing this. There's also Porsche's torque vectoring rear differential, which can send more power to the outer wheel to help push you around a corner. Finally, you get more choice with the driver's aids than a normal Porsche. You have stability control off or stability control and traction control off, which could get pretty hairy considering how much power this thing puts out through its rear wheels. And that brings me on to 5 annoying things about the GT2 RS. The GT2 RS weighs 1,470 kilos, which means it's 55 kilos heavier than the normal Carrera 2S. So it really is a porker. You don't have the normal gas struts to hold up the engine cover. I'm guessing it's because you've got the heavy wing on the back. Instead you have like this kind of clip, which just, yeah, you can get your fingers caught in it. It's a bit awkward to use. There's no stereo controls on the steering wheel, which means that if you want to turn down the volume, then you have to reach for this tiny knob. I wonder if that's what the owners have too. Oh. Because this is made out of glass, there's no heater element in it, so in the winter it can take a little bit of a while to defrost. The GT2 RS is only available with an automatic gearbox. There is no manual option available, which no doubt annoys some motoring journalists, though to be fair, no motoring journalist could afford a car like this. Don't worry though, it's not all bad. Here's 5 cool things about this car. The car gets super sticky Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tyres, and they're so very wide at the back. 325mm across, massive. A special system sprays the intercoolers with water to help keep the charged air as cool as possible, and that water is stored in this carbon fibre tank here. I really like the design of the fuel filler cap. Look at it, it's metallic-y. It's going to make you feel a little less annoyed about having to fill up. Ooh. This rear wing may be wider than on the GT3 RS, but it's mounted higher and it's thinner, so you actually get a better view out of the back window. There's rear wheel steering, which means the back wheels turn in the opposite direction of the front wheels when you're doing low speed manoeuvres to help make the car more manoeuvrable, though I'm still struggling to turn around here. When you're going at higher speed, the back wheels turn in the same direction as the front to aid high speed stability. That's better. The engine in this car is based on that of the normal 911 turbo. It's not a turbocharged version of the 4-litre in the GT3 RS. As a result, it doesn't rev quite so high, so it redlines at 7,000 RPM, which I think you'll agree is still pretty high. Doesn't sound as good as the naturally aspirated engine in the GT3 RS either, but it's still quite fruity. And I'll tell you one thing, you cannot argue with its performance. For starters, there is virtually no turbo lag, so when you put your foot down, it just goes. And boy does it go. So I'm cruising along in 4th gear, 50 miles an hour. Yes, everything's fine. But then I decide that I want to go into warp speed. I just floor the throttle and off we go. Holy crap. And that was 100 like that. I swear to God, this thing accelerates quicker in 4th gear than my Porsche 911 996 does in 2nd gear. Thing is though, this is way more expensive, and the 996 is the cheapest way into Porsche 911 ownership. And if you'd like to see a buying guide to one, click up there to watch my video on that with my very own car. And while you're there, please subscribe to my own channel. Obviously, it's the engine which dominates this car, but you wouldn't be able to enjoy it quite as much as you can if it wasn't for the excellent automatic gearbox. It's so responsive. I'm cruising along in 7th, barely ticking over. I'm going to floor the throttle because I want to overtake someone. Off we go, 7 to 2nd in the blink of an eye. And then, when you put it into manual mode, it's just as good. So it'll hold onto gears, look at this. It'll hold onto them, it'll hold onto them, it won't change up. It'll just keep you on the rev limiter like that. I'm on the rev limiter. Don't worry, it's not harming the car. It just makes a racket. And then when you pull the paddle, instant. Pull, change, pull, change. I couldn't even say it quick enough. Pull, change. Even down the box, pull, change, pull, change, pull, change. And I like pulling at these carbon fibre paddles. feels expensive. Oh yes. I've got to be careful though, because I am basically piloting a missile. Excuse my language, but it kind of makes you swear this thing, because it's just so brutally quick. The brakes are good. They don't have that much feel, I don't think, but boy, do they stop you. 3, 2, 1, stop. Stop. Oh. Right, I could have damaged my aortic arch then. Under the G-force when I was braking, it brakes hard. Cameraman didn't enjoy that. Did he, cameraman?
No.
Didn't enjoy it. He didn't. Let's get driving again. Oh. I don't think I enjoyed that. I feel a bit sick myself. Brakes, brilliant. Steering. Well, I think we need a twisty road to really assess the steering. But what I can say is high speed stability. So in this long flowing corner, it just stays planted. As the engine's at the back, when you get into a corner, you need to brake hard and trail brake to get the weight moving forward, get the nose biting into the tarmac, and then power out. Use the weight of the engine over the back wheels to give you lots of grip. Oh, you can feel it moving around. Well, I tell you what, the steering is lovely. Whoa! It's almost like it's just directly linked to my brain. I can feel exactly what the car's doing, and it's responding precisely to what I want it to do. I'll let you all into a little secret. I'm driving this car with the stability control all the way on, because today I've got tiny little bollocks. They're kind of like little frightened shriveled up walnuts, because I know this thing could bite me. I'm not actually worried that I'd die if I was to crash. It's more the fact that, well, I'd have to make that awkward phone call to Porsche, go, hello, yeah, it's Matt from carwow. You know that GT2 RS you let me? Yeah, the really rare one, the expensive one. It's a little bit damaged. Now let's talk about more practical stuff. So what is the 911 GT2 RS like as a daily driver? Well, being a 911, it's actually quite easy to drive. Got good visibility and it's reasonably comfortable. Yes, the suspension is firm, but it's expensive firm suspension, so it rounds off the edges of bumps. It doesn't crash over them like cheaper cars. One thing that is a little bit annoying is when you're just cruising along, maybe you can hear this, you get quite a lot of drone from the engine. I bet you're thinking, oh my God, that's really crap, and it is. But then you realise that you've left the exhaust valves open, and then if I press that, it's not quite so bad. But still, longer distances could be a bit of a chore, but to be fair, you'll only be driving this car longer distances to go to a track day, won't you? And then it won't matter, because you'll be having so much fun overall throughout that day. What a blinding car this is. I would love to keep it, but I just don't have £230,000. So then, what's my final verdict on the Porsche 911 GT2 RS? Well, let me have a think. I bloody love it! Don't really have much to say about it than that, so let's end the video there. Ka-ching! 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 Is that better or not? Which is better, there or there?